Dracula, Chapter 8. The men went back to Jonathan's house. They talked about what they should do. "We must find that last box," said Jonathan. Mina started to leave the room. "Do not talk about your plans around me," she said. "It is not safe. I am in Dracula's power. He can look into my mind. If I know your plans, he will find them out." "Wait," said Van Helsing. "You say Dracula can see into your mind? What if it works two ways? What if you can look into his mind? You may be the key to finding him." Van Helsing asked Mina to sit down. "I am going to hypnotize you," he said. "It is our last hope." Mina agreed. Before long, she was in a trance. Then Van Helsing began to ask her questions. "Where are you?" Mina spoke slowly. "I feel waves. I am on the ocean. I am in a wooden box, on a ship. Soon I will be home, far from my enemies, safe." Van Helsing woke Mina. "It worked," he said. "Dracula is on a ship. He is running away to the only safe place left to him, Castle Dracula." Now everyone knew what had to be done. They had to catch Dracula before he reached the castle. Early the next day they set off for Transylvania. Van Helsing knew of a shortcut. They prayed it would get them there before the count. But the trip took longer than they hoped. Bad luck slowed them down. Or was Dracula reading Mina's mind? Did he cause them to miss a train? To lose a wheel from their coach? They would never know. At last the group reached Transylvania. They stopped to rest outside a tall forest. The sun was setting. High on a hill, a stone castle stood against the red sky. Jonathan shivered. "Castle Dracula," he said. The sky turned black. The air grew cold. A foggy mist crept down the hill toward the group. "He is near," said Van Helsing. "At night, in his place, his power is very strong." Van Helsing took crosses and holy water from his bag. He sprinkled the water in a big circle around the group. "Stay inside the circle," he said to everyone. "It will protect us." The foggy mist came closer. 3 women with wild red eyes appeared. They floated close to Mina. "Sister," they called, "join us." Mina got up. "I must obey," she whispered. She walked to the edge of the circle. Then she stopped. She could not step over the holy water. Van Helsing put his arm around Mina. He held a cross up to the 3 vampires. "Go," he cried. "Go away, you devils!" The vampires hissed. Their red eyes flashed. They backed away. The group stayed awake all night. The vampires came close, but they could not break into the circle, so Mina was safe. At last, the dawn came. The vampires disappeared. Van Helsing and Seward went to the castle. They found the 3 vampires resting in their boxes. "Rest now," said Van Helsing. "Your nights of searching for victims are over." Then he drove stakes into their hearts. Now the group had one thing left to do. They had to wait for Dracula. They hid near the road to the castle. Hours went by. Still he did not come. Then, just as the sun began to set, "Look," said Jonathan, "a wagon with a coffin in it Arthur and Jonathan ran in front of the wagon. "Stop!" they shouted. The men in the wagon looked mean. They jumped down and started to fight. Arthur and Jonathan drew their guns. The men gave up and ran away. "Open the box!" cried Van Helsing. "Hurry! When the sun sets, he will have his powers back." Dracula lay still in the open box, but his eyes flashed. He stared at Van Helsing as if to stop him. Van Helsing would not be stopped. He raised his wooden stake high, then he drove it straight into Dracula's heart. Arthur and Jonathan helped to drive it in. "For Lucy!" cried Arthur. "For Mina!" cried Jonathan. Dracula's red eyes closed. Then he crumbled slowly into dust. A roaring wind rushed out of the coffin. When it died away, Dracula was gone. Mina's hand went to her throat. "His power has truly ended," she said. "Look!" The red marks on her throat were gone. She was herself again. Dr. Seward, Arthur, Van Helsing, Mina, and Jonathan joined hands. By the light of the setting sun, they said a prayer of thanks together.